Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. This is a video series for those just starting with Java, perhaps for a class, or just picking up the skill. In this video, I'll cover variables and how they are used in Java. Alright, so this is another class that I typed out. You can go ahead and copy this, and you can change your class to whatever you want. Just make sure that you have your main method and your opening and closing double brackets. And then we can begin. Alright, so first, what is a variable? A variable can be thought of as a container for some sort of data that can hold numbers, letters, characters, strings, even objects themselves. It is with these variables that are declared that we can manipulate or show data. So in Java, we need to actually prepare the compiler to let them know that there is a variable, and it's going to be an integer variable. You declare this by typing int and x. Int stands for integer, and then this is just the name of your variable. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call it x for now. Now once you have it declared, you can actually say, just like an algebra class, x equals 2. Make sure you end it with a semicolon. But how do we know that we're actually setting x to 2? So we can go ahead and we'll do a print line command and tell it to print the x variable. So let's go ahead and run that, and we get 2. So that's telling us that x is 2. Okay. But we can also just make this a little bit simpler. Instead of just taking 2 lines of code, we can do it with just 1 line. We can declare that this is an integer, that there is a variable called x, and that it is set to equal to 2. We'll go ahead and run it again just to double check, make sure it runs, and it works correctly. Now there are other variables such as a double, and we'll call this one y. And let's give it, a double is meant for decimals, so we can say 3.25. End it with the semicolon. And then there's also the char. And we'll say this is a C. We'll call it char C. Equals, and we'll set it equal to G. Make sure you're using single quotes around the char. And then the last one that we'll do is called string text. And this one we use the double quotes. Okay. Now these are the different types of variables that you will encounter in Java. Ints, doubles, chars, strings, and there's also the long as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a system.out for each one of these variables and make sure that they print out correctly. I'm just going to copy and paste a whole bunch of times and just change the variable that it prints out. It makes things a little bit quicker. So we got x, y, c, and text. Notice you don't need to put any quotes or anything around your variables. It will actually just print them out just as they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that again. So we get 2, 3.25 is y, g is c, and hello is the text. Alright, so that's pretty much how you set and declare variables. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.